What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more Combined Arms content, carrying on with part 2 of Combined Arms in review. This time we have 10 Gun Tank, and then my second opponent will be Ada's Toru. So 10 Gun Tank, or as I like to call him, Tengu Tank, just because it's the first word I see and makes me think of RA3, I guess. He's a Chinese player, so there's going to be a little bit of lag, unfortunately, but it's not terrible at all. He's definitely a stronger opponent than Ghostlead. I think Ghostlead was the newest player in my division, so this is going to be a little bit more of an interesting game, I think. And let's get this game started. Alright, so I'm here in this game. I rolled Odd Faction. Looks like I rolled Legion again, just so I can see that War Factory. And I'm just gonna, do the same thing I did pretty much last time. It's a very similar game as the last one I saw. Third ref into War Factory into a second Rex. Start pumping out a bunch of infantry, expand south, get a ref down, crawl to that second tip tree in the middle, and hopefully the game will be pretty much decided by then. I was really hoping that I could carry that hand of nod over those tip tree, or the chip patch right there. That'd just be super nice, get me down to this Oil Derrick a little bit closer. Going to the bottom Oil Derrick this time too, just because, again, I was kind of hoping I could get past there, so just makes sense to go there. Also, it doesn't hurt to change up your strategy every now and then, keep your opponent guessing, especially on these maps where you can kind of go for both Oil Derricks. You never know, we're gonna find them trying to be greedy, going for like 2 Oil Derricks like that, or just on like a War Factory first, not having a whole bunch of engineers. So I send 4 rifles down to the bottom and then engineer, and then that 5th one's just kind of checking them somewhere else, make sure he's not doing anything weird. Shouldn't be too worried about harassment. I don't feel like you see a lot of grenadiers from like newer players, and 10 Gun Tank is a little bit of a new player, but like not super new, Yep, so just getting that ref out right now, rallying those infantry down, just slowly waking their way down there. Gets an engineer, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. And I got 3 rifles sitting around there. Pull my engineer back for a little bit. Just let him get some more rifle support. And those 3 rifles are just perfectly positioned to get 3 rifles before you even get shot. That's just the power. I think that's honestly why you want 3 rifles, since they will pretty much like one-shot anything like slowly trickling in. Obviously, if you got more rifles there, it's not going to be bad, but you could have 3 rifles somewhere and 3 rifles somewhere else. Maybe that could be a little better in the early game. But yeah, I'm going to get that Oil Derrick. So now that I killed pretty much most of his infantry, I'm just going to go ahead and contest this other Oil Derrick. He's either going for it, he's not. Then he comes back down here with a bunch more infantry, so I'm like, nope, screw that. Just going to run those rifles away a little bit, rally back down some more. Since he's pushing so hard on that bottom Oil Derrick, I feel pretty safe about going engineer just on the backside. I can always send a rifle to escort it there once it gets close. He's going to push in again, and again, those 3 rifles just getting more than enough of their value. And probably just going to try to kill that. Try to place this ref down there, but those damn rifles are just perfectly running. So I have to switch my rally point just for early, but that was like, what, 5 seconds I lost. And that's just eating up all of my micro, just trying to get that down there. But luckily, didn't lose too much on the bottom. Managed to save my Oil Derrick. I don't know sure if I killed another engineer or anything. But I'm starting to stall out a little bit. Should be fine now that I got the 3rd harvester out. Rallying everything to the top. And I see that he's not taken it, so that's great. That's going to be another free Oil Derrick for me, plus a $300 rebate, so spending $100 on an engineer is always good. And he has 1 rifle there, so I got very lucky that I had that 1 rifle scouting forward. That's why you always want to send a rifle scout. Even if you're not sure, or even if you have reasonable suspicions like I did that they didn't have something there, there's always the chance that they got 1 rifle there, so make sure you always send a rifle unless you're like capturing your own Oil Derrick behind your own lines at the very beginning of the game. Yep, just got nothing else to do, so I'm just gonna queue up a massive amount of infantry. 180 rifles and 89 or 87 rockets. It's so much. Basically going 2 to 1. Honestly, 2 to 1 I think is pretty good for this type of build, since if they have any sort of armor, you'll just wreck it. Any sort of defense they have, that extra rocket density will help too. So I'm gonna queue up some battle tanks. Queue up one of those artilleries too, since those are super nice. They do help deal with defenses a lot more effectively than a battle tank does, for sure. It's like one of the good things about the early tier 1 artillery. It's not so much an infantry killer as much as it's an anti-building killer. So send that 1 rifle down to protect my Oil Derrick. I'm not real worried about the Oil Derrick on the left side. If he wants to push that again, then like that'll just tell me a lot about where his army is. And what do I know? Oh, he is pushing it again, but that's alright. I'm gonna lose that Oil Derrick, but I got an army coming over. I'll instantly kill it. And I see that he's got a lot of rangers out there, so this is the first time I realized that he's an allies faction. Finally reached that hand nod spot that I wanted earlier with that tip finally gone with my second hand nod there, so trying to move with that MCV and start pumping out all his infantry. And if I'm lucky, I can probably catch that army as it's retreating back unless he keeps it there. And I see these poking down with the rangers, so I do get lucky and I catch a lot of his rifles. And just judging by the rally point, it looks like he was rallying down to my bottom old there. But again, that's like at least 4 more rifles that I kill. Unfortunately, he's gonna make up that value instantly with killing 4 rockets, 5 rockets. So yeah, those rangers are super annoying. Gotta definitely be careful of that. And he heard my artillery too, which is not great. I'd rather keep that in surprise if I can, but you know, I should still have the army advantage here unless he's done something very similar, which if he did, like I'm pretty sure I've killed off more, although maybe it's more even now that he's killed so many of those rockets. Gotta pause that queue since I'm starting to stall again. I think a little bit that's just because those micro on the harvesters has not been there. See those rangers running down the bottom. I'm not super worried about them. You can see he's pushing again here with some rifles, so I'll just go ahead and kill that. Any army I can get is good. And there's quite a few rifles there. Looks like a 20 stack. His rangers up on the top. I'm not super worried about them. I got defensive structure ready just in case there's some sort of harass with scout tanks or whatever. But instead, he runs his rangers in, and I get 2 of them, not taking too much losses at all. And he's starting to poke again, but again, another ranger goes down. 4th ranger barely not going down. And I'm cleaning up that infantry in the bottom. Finally, that 4th ranger goes down. That's pretty good. But I see that he's expanded in the middle here. He's got a turret and a defense. So that artillery is going to be nice. But I'm just going to rotate away from him since that means he's expanded there. His main should be exposed. No one's you there. And I'm going to do a quicker tier 2 transition here. Start queuing up that 3rd or 2nd racks again. Just placing out on a ref again. You know, tech is nice when I can have it, so I definitely want to get to it. I think that was a mistake that I was making before. It was kind of staying on this tier 1 a little too long. See, they had nothing but medium tanks there, so I was happy to put my rifles in first. Just try to keep these battle tanks alive, since if they die, then that army is pretty scarily. Go down to just a little bit of infantry, since that was a lot of medium tanks. But I'm just trying to keep a good concave here. He's poking out, loses 1 medium tank. Gonna lose the 2nd medium tank there, so that was a good trade for me. Didn't lose too much at all. Now I have the secondary army. I can start pushing, get that artillery on that turret. And he's just he's trying to keep the pressure here, and I want to keep him there, fixed as much as possible. You know, I only got so much I can do with that. Tier 2 is out, which is nice. I got that cash hack going, which Legion has. And that artillery is just poking out the turret. Unfortunately, the 1 battle tank just sitting right in the front there, so just kind of reposition, decide, alright, you know, I've whittled his army a lot. I feel like I can probably just deathball him right now. First, if I get a good concave going. Got that turret in good, or that artillery in good position as well, so I'll just send it on a turret and have everything going right here. And he's got a lot more than I expected, honestly, but also have a lot too. And that concave of mine is a lot better than his concave, so artillery goes down, that sucks. But I did do enough there, so I keep pushing, and I think gotta pause my queues again because I'm still managing to stall. But yeah, he's got a lot of rifles here, and I think that's what made his armies look so big. But he's trying to push in. 3 medium tanks left to my 3 battle tanks, 2 to 1. Starting to look good there. Get that ref down, but I pretty much killed all of his stuff, so it's looking pretty bleak for him. Kill the power because why not? And that pillbox is there. See that he has his radar up, so that'll hurt even more now that I kill his power. But yeah, I get on top of this racks and kill that. That'll really gonna hurt him. It's gonna deny his defense production, probably all his infantry production as well. But he goes in and calls a GG there, so much different than the Eno game. This like strategy is kind of working out a lot better for my favor. And again, I think it's helping the early game are going in my favor with the oil derrick battles. So that's it for game 1. We'll jump into game 2. Alright, so we're back here for game 2 against 10 Gun Tank. We're on the Ruined Kingdom. I got Ukraine this time, which is pretty good. They're not like a super strong faction with their like sub-faction stuff, but just Soviets are generally a pretty good faction, and I'm more familiar with them. Funnily enough, on this game, I think, well, let me think for a second. I think it was after I played Eno. We were just kind of casually talking, and one of the last things he said after he beat me was that he played 10 Gun Tank on this map, and he all-in base pushed him after like minute 2 with an MCV. He's just like, yeah, just beware if you play 10 gun tank, that's probably what he's gonna do if he picks the Rune Kingdom on you. So I had that kind of going into my head that that's probably what 10 gun tank's gonna try to do. And like I get where he's coming from, you know, he's up against stronger opponents that he feels like, so you gotta kind of throw that Hail Mary, and you know, there's nothing much more than a Hail Mary than a MCV all-in. But with that said, like I kind of am gonna do something different than my normal triple ref build here. I'm still gonna triple ref build, but instead of going into an extra reaction, I'm gonna go into radar and then near field, and I'm gonna do what Inno did to me, and that is abuse the hell out of Heinz as much as I can, because I felt like Heinz were pretty good. I feel like my micro is decent enough that I can kill all the rockets, so if he is gonna MCV base push me, he's not gonna be able to get through my defenses with just rifles, and like heavy tanks won't do the damage that he needs against the flame tower. So if I can keep the Heinz micro up, then I should be good. I'm gonna get this engineer into my second Uldirect nice and easily. I was kind of worried that he could push there if he really wants to. You can definitely easily go to that outside Uldirect and deny it from your opponent, but looks like he's just chilling back in macro in for now. Same thing I'm doing basically. Harvester is a little bit far away from my taste, and I don't quite like that, but it is what it is. I think I'd rather be just going straight to the north. Engineer gets in. I'm gonna send that scout right through the middle, see if I catch anything. I will definitely see if he has an MCV there or not. If it's already gone, then that's like a cue to me to start maybe changing my strategy, because I'm not gonna get those Blackhawks. Damn it, I did it. Not gonna get those Heinz out in time. I don't know why I keep on calling Blackhawks now. It's like ingrained into me. But I see those MCs there. All right, cool. I see that his faction is a nod faction, and I feel like I probably saw it better in the game, but I missed it here. But yeah, he's on the gems. I feel like the gems are actually a trap here, even though it's funny because I'm about to go for him myself. But I just think you're better off not going for him. Get that tib. It's a little bit denser, a little bit more money there, and then once your tib trees dry, sure, then send a harvester to go get those gems. But you don't really get an economic boon that you think you would with the gems. He tracks down that one rifle with pretty much a lot of rifles there, so I'm thinking, all right, yeah, I think he's going to do the strategy, but it's going to hit at a timing that I'm prepared for. So I'm just going to queue up a bunch of rifles and rockets. Got a flame tower ready just in case. I already put one down. I got extra power. That's kind of why I sold that third ref, or rather my first ref that I placed. But he's scouting me, sees that I'm on the gems as well, sees that I got a power plant there, but doesn't really see much else. Doesn't see a war factory, doesn't see a racks. So that rifle scout's gonna go down. That was a good rifle scout by him. I saw a lot of what he really wanted to know, much more than my rifle scout saw, although seeing his MC still there was pretty nice. Then I'm just gonna spam out BTRs. You know, they're anti-infantry and they're heavy armored, so again, they're gonna be really good here. I think heavy tanks would be not a good choice. They'll be good for like other tanks, but I'll allow my rockets to do that. And you know, hopefully I have some Heinz out that can deal with his rockets, which will save my BTR's lives a little bit longer. I'm just sending out some rifle scouts to make sure he's not going to hit me from a weird angle, but definitely expecting this rush to happen sometime soon. In the meantime, I'm just going to queue up my queues since I got really nothing else to do. Radar is almost done, which is nice. This is minute 4 radar, which is kind of crazy in OpenRA terms, but in Combined Arm terms, it's like nothing. You see like a lot of minute 6 tech centers too, so get that radar down, get that airfield going, and then I'll move that MC out since I'm going to need to start mining more efficiently here. Probably can even sell that ref after that gem mine's done. It's got one more load. Decided to build a 4th harvester, and that'll just help me as I transfer down here. That 4th harvester will probably come out as that ref gets built in the expansion, which would be great. And just pump out some Heinz. Only need 3 of them for now. You don't want to overexpend it in air like that. Accidentally crushed the wall there, and that's like such a bad thing to do. That's such a tell that I'm moving out. I've seen it happen so many times as a players, and I'm sure 5 Aces will say it too, but crushing those walls is such a huge tell that you're moving out. 4-star harvester comes out, which is nice, because that ref is going to be built a little bit slower. But I catch a little bit of his army there on the top, so I'm repositioning. And again, crushing more walls, which is slowing my BTRs down, which is even worse. But yeah, there's a lot of rifles pushing on my base there, but luckily I got a Hind out. He's got bikes mixed in there, which is kind of interesting. But unfortunately, my BTRs aren't in perfect position, and I'm trying to snipe out those rockets as best I can. The Blackhawks can go down to the bikes, so that was kind of poor for me there, but I'm taking an okay engagement there. I feel like him using those bikes to tanks was not good on him at all. I think had he kept those alive, he would be in a much better position. But he wipes my army there, so now I gotta like re-queue my army. Gonna have a defense out, which is nice, but I got too many rockets right here. Luckily, I have just enough build radius. And hello, there's a power plant right on my face, so he is indeed MCV base pushing me. But fortunately, he gets pushed back. Try to use this Hind to kill the defense, since I'm kind of worried about the laser turret, but Hinds don't do that much to the laser turret. In fact, I think the BTRs are doing about equal damage as the missiles are. But here's where the BTRs will shine. I can just kind of poke at his infantry, and that'll shield me from the laser turret. Send those flame towers to attack his power plant, since it's right on my face. That'll shut down his build radius too a little bit. And I'm thinking, do I want another Vax here? No, I just want some more power in case he snipes one. Got some Katyushas out, which are, again, not super good, but good enough. And interesting enough, it looks like he went for a radar first before his MCV base push. So it's kind of a weird all in here, but you know, this Katyusha will be okay, just to keep the threat on him. He's got a light tank pushing on the bottom. He's trying to rotate to my harvesters. But I'm kind of okay to let my harvesters tank here. If I lose one, I lose one. But just, I think I sniped out the majority of his rockets earlier, so don't lose a harvester there, which is great. And I got 2 Hinds out right now, another Katyusha. Stopping those Katyushas, building V2s. Those are much more reliable artillery unit. Place the flame tower on that backside, just in case he tries to rotate down there. And yeah, just get another ref out, because again, I'm starting to hurt on eco. Get another Hind, you want 3 or 4 of them, that would be pretty good. There he goes, he's sending a bike. That one rocket managed to scout him, but didn't see too much at all. Kill that power plant, since that'll probably put him low power. And just Hinds will just be super nice with that vision support, seeing that he is rotating to the top. Trying to snipe out any rockets I could see, or just get the Hinds on the infantry. Did a number there. He kills the power plant, but I'm not super worried about it. And now I'm starting to get a decent catch float, so I start building some more infantry. But I saw his MCV pack up, so his base push is pretty solid. And that's pretty much the best possible outcome I could hope for here. Now I have quite a significant size army, and I feel like his is pretty small. And again, with that Blackhawk support, damn it, I did again. With the Hind support, I'm just in a really good position here. Gonna drop one more flame tower and then move that MC up to the north. I could expand to the bottom, but I feel like I'm much more vulnerable and spread out if I do that, so it's very easy to just backtrack and expand to the north. That'll keep me well more protected, and I don't expect him to kind of anticipate my MCV going down there. I think more of the natural line is to go straight to the south. So that could save me in case he wants to do like an eco rest there. He'll just be waiting and waiting and not find anything. Same time, I've kind of stabilized here, so I'm gonna drop the scout or the spy plane, see what he's got down there. Scouting with those black Hinds in the north, and I find his MCV, which is nice. V2 instantly hits it, puts it down to 50% health. Just gonna use the Hinds if he rolled away, but he leaves it there, so I'm just gonna chuck the ref with him. MCV goes down, so that's a nice little win. And I see that he's rotating towards the bottom. But I'm in a decent concave here, and then I think, nah, I should just kill that ref. That'll hurt his eco so much. Leave the V2s and the Katyushas to kill the infantry there, and they get a pretty good job. Pretty poor control with my Hinds there, unfortunately. So those went down, but I did kill his ref, and now I'll try to turn it into his army. If I can keep that Katyusha alive, that'll be really good. This heavy tank is more than enough match for this army. And so I'm pretty much cleaning up all of his army there, which is really great. And I just need to organize myself on my back end, get all my cues, go into the right spot, focus on that MCV that I've completely forgot about now. Try to kill those spikes with the Hind, but unfortunately, with their AA, they're just a little too much for it, but that's alright. Got paratroopers coming in, and just kind of deathballing now in the middle. He's got no expansion, killed his MCV, I killed a lot of his army. I should be in a solid state here. Realize that, oh yeah, I forgot about my MCV. Very lucky they didn't have anything up there. And just start building a ref. Send that ref to the top, or that harvester to the top. Kind of want to hold this little paradrop in the back just for a little bit here. And I get pretty lucky there that I kill an Apache. Apaches are really good anti-infantry helicopters, much better than Hinds, but much less tanky than them. Get that Katyusha on that laser turret, since, you know, that's kind of what their jobs do. And I don't want to push those guys in too far, just kind of want to poke at a harvester if I see one. And just gotta wait for my eco to catch up here, just a little bit behind. Once that ref goes down to the top, I should be alright. poke at a heart, which is good. It's already down to half health. Down, it's red health now. Ref's finally up. Spy plane's back up too. Comes up in 2 minutes, super fast. And I see that he's pulled his entire army down there for a paradrop, which is really great because it's going to allow me to push in the top here. My tanks are in good position, and I see that I have a huge army here. Katusha should do a decent job of just at least pronated infantry, and yeah. His tanks are out of position. My army's in perfect position, and he goes in and calls the GG there, so I have to give credit to Eno for alerting me to the possible base push. I think that's definitely helped me save this game. I'm not sure how my triple ref double barracks build would have worked against that base push, since I wouldn't have had the barracks out yet, but I probably would have been okay just with the triple ref. Probably would have been able to hopefully see it coming a little bit and spam out those flame towers, but definitely have to thank Eno for giving me that. And yeah, we'll jump into the next series. Alright, we are back here for these Eidos Toros game. I don't think nervous is the right emotion I describe it, but maybe somewhat apprehensive. I was 4-2 going into these games. I was expecting, 5-3 what I need here to win, so a split here would be pretty good. But Eidos Toro hadn't played any games, so if he beats me 2-0 here, then it's not looking very good for me at all. If he splits here, then he would probably play a tiebreak with me, so it'd be a very tight series if he do have to play a third. But so yeah, it was definitely an interesting situation going into this. I rolled Skrin, which is nice. I feel like Skrin is a pretty strong faction, and I just randomly picked Titan VIP again, so similar to what I did against I'm just gonna go for that 3-ref build here, even though I cancel a ref right now. This time, I'm gonna get that portal more towards the middle, get that engineer into the oil derrick, and then just kind of do my standard stuff from there. Decided to go for second engineer, since Skrin have no medics, but CA gives you medics when you capture a hospital. You don't get that global heal, instead it's just like a radius, and it slowly produces medics for you, so Skrin with medics is super nice. You really want medics on their infantry, and medics are always super nice. Not going to contest that build oil derrick. I don't think I ever really did, or ever really do. It's just too dicey, I feel like. Not worth it. So maybe if you're playing against me, that's something good to know, because you can probably take it for free. Although I will send that one rifle to try to snipe your engineers, so you got to be a little bit careful, but knowing stuff like that about your opponent is super nice. And unfortunately, I have no idea how good Eidos Toro is, or anything about him. I know that he's an Aussie, but that was about it. I just know that he was super busy, had played 0 games before this, so it's definitely going to be a little bit interesting figuring out his skill level as this game progresses. Just waiting for that second ref to get done. Got that simulator coming up, the Skrin engineer, just rallying it down. Should be reasonably well protected. I don't expect anything to come down there. If you rolled Soviets and went dog first, then maybe I could lose that engineer pretty easily. Dogs in CA are they're so much better than RA, and you should always build them in RA basically, but you should really always build them in CA. They are just so good, especially with the extra build queue that you get, so you don't even have to stall out your infantry queue. Get that warrior to kill Tanya for the Fury money. Thank you for the $135 now, and then thank you for the elite rank, because it makes my warrior that much more effective. See that he has indeed taken the middle of Derrick, and he's got Disintegrator there too, so he also rolled Skrin. That's fine. I don't mind playing against Skrin. Skrin versus Skrin is just a mirror. It's pretty much like OpenRA for me. Pretty much playing with the similar toys and toy box. Get that power down, and get that War Factor coming out, and now he's making a comment on it. I feel like it really does happen a lot that you get mirror factions. Even with 15, it is what it is. But it doesn't look like he's gone for the hospital, which is fine. I can see that he is Reaper 17, so he's going to have Buzzer Swarm, which is nice. That's a tier 2 support power. But other than that, there's not too much faction differences that are going to matter too much, I don't think. Got that hospital, and then I got to set the rally point for it. But yeah, I'm going to have that first medic out, which is going to be nice. And just start queuing up my infantry a little bit. Pretty much 2-to-1. Disintegrators are a little bit different than rocket soldiers in that they're a hit scan rather than a projectile, but they make up for that with I think a little bit less range. But get this Warp Fury down, start queuing up those interlopers, and then unlike last time where I went straight for the barracks, this time I'm gonna move my MCV out a little bit. That way I can use that barracks to crawl and then just place a ref. That'll just give me that eco a little bit faster, also be a little bit less harsh on my eco building up, so I'll get a few extra tanks that way, a few extra soldiers, and then I'll go into that second portal, barracks, and then nerf center. So nerf centers are good. You really want to get tier 2 Skrin. and send this rifle back down and see if I can see any more important info. You know, I saw that he went for an early war factory, or at least earlier war factory than I'd probably do another ref. So I should have maybe a few more vehicles, but I should be okay with just the extra infantry that I'm going to have. Skrin is a very light armored faction too, so if it's heavy gun walkers, I should be alright. If he goes interlopers, then the rockets would be fine. See the Skrin there? I'm like, alright, cool. Can I kill it? Nope, he's got a gun walker there. Yeah, it is what it is. But it looks like his MCV is still in his main base, so if I can do a great timing attack on his bottom, that'll be nice. Start queuing up that second portal, and you can see that I'm a little bit lower on cash now. Already down to 2,000, where the last time I was starting about 4K, so I'll have to pause this portal a little bit quicker than I would, but again, I think I just, this build is a little bit better. He's got a Gunwalker Scout here, that's fine, you know, Lopers are heavy armor. You see he's got a Gunwalker and a Secret Tank, which is a interesting combination. Those are both light armor. One's more of like a harasser, one's more of your anti-infantry unit. So my composition will definitely beat that. Already have to pause that second one. He's gonna catch 2 Disintegrators on the backside there, but you know, it's fine, I'll totally turn to that. It's just a bunch of rifles. I got some interlopers there, so it should be totally fine. Secondary army's gonna focus on the oil derrick, because why not? And then I do see that he is indeed trying to push there, so I was gonna kill him. It's only 10 warriors, but that is gonna make a big difference there. And then that Seeker again at the top, but my interloper will deal with that, and those Gunwalkers are not exactly what he wants here. So I'm getting a nice surround here, pretty much cleaning up with all his army. So far, everything is going pretty well for me. Got that 4th ref out now, so I'm starting to roll in the eco, although I'm very close to stalling. But I'm just floating at like the perfect amount, really, I feel like. And just constantly trying to push him. Go another ref after that nerve center, just because, again, I'm going to need that extra eco. Really need 5 hours, but decided to cancel it instead, because I'm starting to run out of my Canadian. And again, I think that's just because those harvesters are not harvesting as efficiently as they could be, but checking to see if he expanded the top, and of course he did not. Sending that medic to the front, because it doesn't rally all the way back to my base, but just trying to pull him apart a little bit with this army if I can do that. Nerf center's out. Look at Shard Walker, but I'm not really building Gunwalker, so don't even want to get that upgrade. I'm just going to kill this oil derrick. That'll hopefully draw him away. Also deny him some of his ecom. Just get the second army on the bottom moving. I see that he wants to turn into me here, and again, he's got a lot of Gunwalkers and Seekers, which is not great against my composition, and that is a lot of Disintegrators. Like, I think that is all Disintegrators, so just trying to keep my interlopers out of there for the most part, because they would instantly die down, and then I eventually just roll over all of his infantry there and take a pretty good engagement there. Secret Tank goes down, and his last warrior is going to go down in a second, so yeah, that was a brutal swing on his part. I think he lost just a lot of value there for pretty much nothing. I lost 2 interlopers and a few infantry. He lost a ton of Disintegrators. So this army in the top is definitely still a threat, even though it doesn't have armor. There's a lot of mass there. It's pretty well vetted up as well, so... And there's a medic healing it up, which is even worse for him. I'm going to push in here with the bottom. See that he's got a plasma turret, plasma cannon, which are really good, and harvester down there, but so far it's uncontested. Harvester's going to get away, that's right. That's probably his only ref there. I'll try to kill it. And I do see that I'm getting a ref at the top. Expand again. And then he's trying to push in the bottom, which means his top is free to push in. And he's in a really bad spot here. So I'm just going to push away with that army now. If he wants to engage it as I retreat, that's totally fine by me. Kill his vehicles if I can, and then if those are out of the way, then I can probably push into his army. Meanwhile, that army in the north is just wrecking his base. I think that was another power plant and a ref down. Fortunately, I kind of squandered that bottom army a little bit. Kill all of my rifles and leave only Disintegrators, but at this stage of the game, it is pretty much done for him. I'm expanded again, and that army in the north is still kicking. He goes up and GG there, so yeah, that was pretty much exactly what I wanted. 8-minute game. Everything went my way. I don't think he really had a strong chance there, but that definitely alleviated any fear of Eidos being like a really strong player. Now if we split, I'll feel a little bit more confident that I could take him in the best of tie. It's a 3 tiebreaker, but we'll go on to game 2. Alright, so we're back here for the second game against Eidos. We are on Marigold Town, and I rolled a Soviet faction. I believe I got Russia. I cannot quite remember. In fact, I do know that I got Russia because I can see Tesla reactor instead of advanced power plant. So I am Russia, which is nice. So gonna go with that Eno build again. Don't need to do the triple rough this time. I just don't think it works out this well on this map, just due to the nature of it. This map is very like middle centric. You can kind of just wall off your double mine expo to the north right there and be pretty well safe, especially in combined arms with defenses the way they are. Late game tier 3, you probably might have to go back there and protect a little bit more, but your tier 1.5, your tier 0 is not going to do anything to it. I'm being a little aggressive here and putting that power plant forward and that barracks forward. I'm also going to do some grenadier cheers because why not? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to quite properly reach that backside. That'll be fine. I'll just do a ref cell, but that will slow down my eco a little bit. As you can see, I can barely kind of get there, but it's still, you know, like 3 cells away, not exactly where you really want it. The benefit of doing this is that those first rifles that I build can kind of pressure him a little bit, so if he's a little bit slow on capturing that old Eric, I can maybe catch him. Also helps get those grenadiers in a little bit faster. He's got 1 rifle there. I'm going to lose 1 rifle and then kill his, so we're trading 1 on 100 each. And I don't see him capturing, so that's interesting. See if maybe I can catch an engineer coming in there. Just keep these rest of rifles near my base just in case he's going to like rifle push me, something like that. An all-in would be pretty bold right now and it'd probably work pretty well against me actually. But I'm going to place that other ref on this forward tip patch, and then my third ref will go to the backside. So I'm still going to do like that third ref build, but again, kind of like modified instead of an extra rack, so I'm going to go into radar without Hind. And again, that's just because of the nature of the map. I think Hinds are super good. I think, you know, showed that to me, so this rifle is just kind of scouting to see where I can find that power plant. Okay, I see a power plant. Nice. I see some rifles there as well. So I'm going to hold up on those grenadiers just a little bit, since those are probably going to kill my grenadiers. If I move them in now, those rifles are probably going to stick there unless I give them something to reach out. Got that third ref, and I sold it off, so that's in a much better position, so that's great. And then I see him start to push out, so that's perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. So I'm just going to run in with those grenadiers now, get that war factory, and then I'll probably move that MCV out, and then go radar. Maybe go radar before I don't quite remember. But yep, those grenadiers gonna 3-tap that power plant, and then gonna run away. This other power plant should be up here. I see a ranger, and doesn't even fully kill an engineer, but 2 grenadiers managed to kill a ranger is quite surprising to me. So that was something I did not expect. Grenadiers died, but they definitely did more than enough. They killed a $300 power plant and a $500 ranger, and probably put him low power with the amount of damage they did. So that is a huge boon. You know, I'm typing in here that Grand's absolute wreck rangers. It's good to know, just in case. I mean, you shouldn't ever really lose a ranger to a grenadier, because you should be keeping them moving with a turgid shot, but it's definitely something funny. Got more factory down. Gonna build some BTRs first, and then a bunch more BTRs. I feel like, you know, keeping those BTRs is really nice, just because you can keep them in front of your infantry to scout, and then if you have like a heavy tank or 2, then you can move them out of the way and just kind of sidestep. And basically kind of use them to kill the infantry when you can. At the same time, I'm moving out that MCV to that top expo from your standard, which you always do on this map. There's no reason not to go there first. It's super close, super convenient. BTR is going to scout to see if that oil derrick is captured, and is captured. I kind of revealed the BTR there, that's fine. But I'll just go ahead and kill that oil derrick. Don't know how long he's had it capped for, but it is what it is. A little bit slow on placing down that 4th ref, but it's okay. I've got more than enough since I'm not doing a double Rex build right now. Yeah, almost 5k, it'll probably just get more. But that will quickly disappear with another build queue with the radar afterwards. So I'm just kind of sitting here in the middle, just trying to make a good concave. Don't want him to run right into me just yet, but I should be definitely be a little bit more careful there. Start queuing up to defensive too, because I'm going to drop some of those at the top. Seeing if he's got anything down there. Nope, doesn't. Alright, place that ref. Just leave my MC roof there for now. Drop a few defenses, and I think, you know, Chesco would be really good up here. That'll really shut things down. That flame tower alone would not be good enough. Got my heavy tank out now. I decided to cancel a little bit of those extra BTRs. Don't really need them too much. 4 is probably more than enough. Katyushas will be good to support my backline infantry and everything. Send those BTRs to the north, see if they want to see if he scouted anything up there, which I assume he has. Just working on my harvester a little bit as well. Got the Tesla coil out right behind the flame tower, so it's actually protected. Fortunately, don't have the power right now. Have to depower it, but that's okay. That Tesla reactor is coming out pretty shortly, I'm pretty sure. Don't see an expansion yet, which is a little bit interesting. So that means he's either really slow or just teching up, and then I finally see the MCV there, so okay. I'm not going to really stop that with BTRs. I'm not going to be able to kill it with just the BTRs. It's not like RA where the MCV is light armor. It's heavy armor, so BTRs won't do anything to it anyways. Got that Tesla reactor out. Just placed a few more structures as that airfield's building up, and then I'll probably move it straight out to the bottom. Airfield's got 3 seconds left, and then I'm going to go straight into Hines, because Hines are super good. Almost built the X because I'm so used to him being there, but nope, build Hines. Last flame tower was pretty close to ready, so I just waited a second. And now I'm in a pretty good position here. Luckily, I see that he's pushing there, and I'm actually in a really bad position right here, but I think I just have the numbers. And he's actually taking a really good engagement there. Most of my rockets are down, but I have the 2 Katyushas in the back, and those are helping just a little bit, and those BTRs again also helping. So heavy tanks are pushing into the bottom, and heavy tanks are pretty good against armor. You didn't have a whole lot of rockets with them, I don't think, so honestly, a very lucky engagement there for me. I definitely was caught out of position and kind of conga lined into him, but managed to clean up his army while keeping majority of mine, so small graces, I suppose, but managed to win there. Not sure why I'm building another power plant when I have 180. I think it's maybe just because I can't reach with the ref. So I built one so I can get closer. And then I went into armor factions. Now we'll have Rhino tanks, which Rhino tanks are just a straight replacement for heavy tanks and just much better. They do much more damage on one shot than a heavy tank does in 2, so fortunately I'm stalling out a little bit here. And again, that's probably just because I'm not building any archers out of my war factory. Probably should maybe consider doing that, but also got, you know, 3 queues to build off of. Stop my infantry queue for now. In fact, maybe it just ran out, I can't remember. Biplane goes in to see if his army's there. I got my Hines just circling up to the top so I can poke at anything there. And yep, there's pretty much all of his army. It's cool. I'll just kind of scout with my Hines, maybe make a good angle on his rockets. Place that ref and thinking maybe move out to the bottom, but now I'll just get another war factory up, which is probably too much, honestly. Expanding would probably be better, but going with these Hines, and that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rockets down, didn't lose a single Hines, so that's perfect there. Finally lost one to another rocket. But decided keeping these Hines alive would be pretty good, so I'll go ahead and build an SD. And again, those BTRs, I don't want them tanking. I want them to kind of hit on the flank. But I should be okay here if I can get these heavy tanks and random tanks in front. Without a lot of rockets, he's in a lot of trouble there. Get up some more Hines since I'm starting to float again, but I think he's in pretty dire position here. Got those Katyushas aimed on that pillbox. The other Katyushas are just so bad at hitting things, so pillbox will probably live for a long time. There we go, just start poking at it. Waiting for that war factory finish so I can get that Hine repaired. And I think that's the time I realized that my barracks wasn't queued up. That's alright, I'll just queue up a bunch of Tesla tanks because why not? I got him. I'm going to use him. I'm just going to go straight into Tesla. A little bit careless with my Katyushas there. I lost them, but I'm not even sure they killed that pillbox. They've probably served their purpose. As you can see, those Katyushas did about 1/3 damage on that pillbox, so I said, screw it. I've killed off the majority of his army. I should be alright. Probably should just put that SD close to the airfield. Probably would have got the auto repair, but oh well. Sit the Hine back there. Now I got Tesla tech coming out, so it should be pretty good here. Now, yeah, I'm just going to do Shockey's rockets, the classic reactive armor. Definitely worth it. So I accidentally canceled it. I think it was maybe because I was running out. See what the expansion looks like. Goes Hines back into play, but I see that he really doesn't have anything there. I think he's pretty much dead. I think that early grins hurt him a lot, and then managed to clean up his army while still having a decent army of my own was definitely too much for him. So I'm not really worried about that medium tank, even though it's actually getting a few crushes. Finally go ahead and kill it. And down goes the MCV. Hines are going in and sees there's really not much, so I'm just going to clean up his base. Now he's low power. Pillbox is going down. Radar's gonna go down. And I think that's pretty much it for him. I'm up to tier 3 now. Try to maybe go into Tesla Trooper, but realize I'm still on hold there. But he goes in and calls the GG anyways, so I'm just doing the right thing. I'm making sure I'm keep playing until the game's actually over, but I think he's just waiting for me to kill his last 2 buildings right here. Get those tanks to the bottom so that pillbox doesn't kill any more necessary infantry. Just want to keep my guys as alive as possible, as much as possible. And there's the GG as the final building dies. So that is it for group stage. I think I got pretty lucky with this game. I think coming away 6-2 was about what I expected to carry the series. And I'll go ahead and tell you now that I did in fact advance as the second player. I think 10 gun tank was 3-3. So like I said, 50% would be pretty dicey. Had he beat me there, he'd be 4-4. You know, we'd have to have a playoff game and go in. But that's going to be it for this week. And I'll see y'all next time.